This was the lookout wall, and I made a signal lamp one time with a box and a flashlight and a sounder on it, and I was able to signal over to Wexford with the Morse code. We were in the LSF in those days, Local Security Force. We were the only young school kids sanctioned by the LSF in those days. Up on Shanoon, and this pole was used for the apparatus, and the apparatus was pulled out maybe twice or three times a year. Get some horses and hitch them to the apparatus and bring it up on Shanoon, and once in a while they'd fire a rocket across to this pole and tie it on there. And then somebody would come across the gorge in a breacher's buoy. And then they had the hammer throwing contest. If the ship was close enough to shore, you were supposed to be able to toss the line out so they could catch it on the ship and make fast. Yeah. And down at the flat rocks, and there were just a couple of small houses there in those days. One of them, Dave Murphy's father, Mike Murphy, used to live with his wife, and I think what's her name, Charlie McCarthy's daughter used to live down there too after the hotel was sold. And we used to go down here and sail little sailboats in these ponds down on the flat rocks. And I remember one time borrowing a Chinese junk, which was never meant to sail, from Cormac Kennedy, from Kennedy's Medical Hall. And the junk fell apart. The glue came apart on it because it was never supposed to go in the water. And I had an awful time trying to explain that to them, that it disintegrated. But I mentioned that years later to Cormac Kennedy, and he never remembered it. Of course, we used to fish for mackerel down here off the flat rocks. And Ernie and I used to walk over the cliffs there and sometimes walk down on the cliffs and pick up stuff that'd be washed ashore. Old stuff like clogs and ammunition cases and various things like that. Of course, Dunmore in those days and Ballamacaw and all around the coastline, mines and torpedoes used to wash ashore. And few people around Ireland were killed with the darn things when they exploded.